A record amount of tickets, 500,000 tickets they've
Which
sold.
is fantastic.
Our finish. Good shot. Top goal scorer.
I'm so glad you're here.
Norway coming, there's a chance. 1-0.
Wicker.
No. Pass it.
Oh no!
Let's get it.
Oh, unlucky.
We back in, baby.
That is a bad.
Coming home, baby.
Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Brought to you today by Manscaped, #1 in male grooming. Don't forget, you can get 20% off of all of their stuff. All you got to use is the code Transfer Daily. Check out the link in the description and you can get your 20% right now. Don't forget, as you saw the advert there, the Women's Euros taking place today. Go over onto DR Sports. I'm going to be hosting the final. I actually had a ticket to the final, but in my true professional way, I said no. I hosted it over on DR Sports, so I will be there. So make sure you check it out. And good luck to the Lionesses. Leah Williamson, the captain of Arsenal, the captain of England, an Arsenal player, Beth Mead, two of the most important players in that team playing in that game today. I'll be absolutely gassed for them if they were to win that. It'd be brilliant for the women's game as well, of which Arsenal have been at the forefront. So good luck to them today. And listen, yesterday, what a performance by Arsenal in the Emirates Cup against Sevilla. 6-0 winners. Sevilla, I know it's a friendly, but it's a statement when you beat a team like Sevilla 6-0. Last week, beating Chelsea by 4-0. This Arsenal team at the moment really is playing well, really looks sharp in pre-season, contrasting that to last year's pre-season. And again, the star of the show was Gabriel Jesus with a hat-trick on his debut at the Emirates Stadium. He really lit it up, and it was an absolutely fantastic performance by Arsenal yesterday. And we're not getting carried away. We know it's a friendly, but William Saliba, great performance by him. Jesus, Martin Odegaard, of course, who's our new captain now. That was confirmed by Mikel Arteta, that he's the new captain of the team. I mean, the team just looks ready. And that's the whole point of pre-season, isn't it? It's about being ready for the new season. And the team at the moment, the sort of starting 11, looks ready, but we all know we need a bit more. Speaking to all the fans yesterday, they're like really, really happy with what they're seeing at the moment, but they're just like a little bit more. We just need a couple more. That was like what everybody was almost universally saying. And Mikel Arteta himself, in his press conference after the game, said that, listen, we're still in the market. We're still looking to do stuff. He, spoke about the fact that it's obviously there's players that need to also go out in the other direction, but they're looking in the market. And he said it's all about having that perfect balance, is the word he used, in getting the squad together. But everybody interviewing fans after the game, couple more signings, Robbie, couple more signings. The name that kept coming up over and over again was Yuri Tielemans. I mean, it's of no secret. We speak about it every single day on the show. Yuri Tielemans is the player that a lot of fans would like to see come into Arsenal. Now, it's very interesting when you see the news yesterday that Newcastle put a bid in for Maddison. That was rejected. I think it was for £40 million bid for James Maddison, who, by the way, that was a target for Arsenal last season. And at that time, we've been quoted 65 million as well. So I'd be shocked if Leicester are going to sell him for that amount of money. But is it going to change the dynamic of this Yuri Tielemans sort of stance, which it appears that Arsenal seem to be taking, which... This is just, listen, nobody knows for sure, but it looks like Arsenal just kind of play a little bit of a waiting game. There's all the talk that there's an agreement in place between Yuri Tielemans and Arsenal. He's got 1 year left on his contract, and they're pretty confident that they'll get it done, and probably just waiting to get a couple of players out the door before they come back in and get Yuri Tielemans. But does it change the dynamic now that Newcastle are in for Maddison? Because if, say, for instance, they sold Maddison, say Newcastle came in with a ridiculous bid, which, don't forget, they got the money to do so, and they sold Maddison, they're not going to want to lose both midfielders, you know? And I don't know, maybe they might try and see with that money if they could try and then persuade Tielemans to stay. I don't know. I'm just, you know, this is just me thinking about it, but I'm just like, does it change the dynamic? And also, as I said yesterday, the fact that we're playing them, you know, after next week when we play Crystal Palace, our following game is Leicester. Do they want all that sort of speculation running up to that game? Remember, Leicester yet to make a signing. The only team in the Premier League to have not made a signing. Their fans are getting a bit disgruntled about their transfer activity at the moment. They're seeing their best players, you know, I mean, Tielemans being wanted by Arsenal, now Maddison being wanted by Newcastle. They're a worried bunch. So, is it going to change the dynamic for Arsenal? And are they going to maybe move for Tielemans quicker? We'll have to wait and see. And then there's Lucas Paqueta. What's happening with him? It was very interesting yesterday that Paqueta was praising Jesus on his hat trick, which was, you know, I thought that was a pretty interesting thing. You know, he didn't have to do that. I know they're probably mates from, you know, the national team and fellow Brazilians and that, but he didn't really have to do that, didn't he? He didn't really have to praise him. Is that an indicator that maybe he's looking to sort of join the fold as well? You know, listen, you know what it's like at these times, right? We want to hold on to absolutely anything we can get. But at the moment, it's still looking like Edu's saying the price is too high, number one. And he said in his interview, Edu, the other day, innit, that, you know, we've got other players in that position, and we're yet to see Fabio Vieira, remember, which is another signing that we made because he's been injured. So we haven't even seen him play yet. So let's wait and see how the Paqueta one pans out. Now, this one's interesting today. Arsenal linked with this guy being called the new Marcus Verratti. His name is Cesar Casadi. He's 19 years old, Italian, plays for Inter Milan, and he's a midfielder that is very, very highly rated at the moment. One of the sort of new young stars. He's a Italian under-19 international. Now, you can see there his valuation of around about £900,000. La Repubblica, publication over there in Italy, reporting that Arsenal and Chelsea are both interested in signing him. They've both made inquiries about him. And remember, this kid's not even made a competitive debut yet for Inter Milan, but he's so highly rated. They've both made inquiries about him. Now, the sticking point for Arsenal has been, as I said, you can see that reported fee of around about £900,000. Inter Milan are said to want 17 million for him. Inter Milan not exactly flush with money at the moment, although, you know, the way these clubs that are supposedly short of money are able to do business, like they brought in Lukaku back and they're paying all his wages apparently, but they're not flush with money and they would be willing to sell, but they want 17 million. Arsenal apparently are not willing to pay that sort of money. They are interested in getting him. Chelsea are said to be ahead of Arsenal in looking at this kid, but let's wait and see how that one develops out. Again, it'd be one for the future though, isn't it? He's only 19, as I said, hasn't even made his competitive debut yet for Inter Milan, but very, very highly rated. And then there's Malinkovic-Savic, according to the Italian publication Il Mattino. They're claiming that Lazio are hoping to sell him to either Arsenal or Manchester United for between 46 to 50 million pounds. They're saying in Il Mattino that the Lazio are hoping for a bidding war between the two teams so that they can sell and recoup the money for Malinkovic-Savic. Gazzetta dello Sport also claiming that Malinkovic-Savic would be seeking wages of around about £120,000 a week, which would be no problem for a team like Arsenal or Manchester United. But it does look like they are willing to sell him. Will Arsenal move for him? Because it will be big money. Big money, bidding war. That's why the Tielemans one just seems to make sense if there's an agreement in place already. Now, Pablo Mari's been linked with a move away to Fenerbahce, but apparently that deal has collapsed. The rumours are that Pablo Mari doesn't want to join Fenerbahce. Remember, there's a lot of other clubs interested in him. AC Milan, Hellas Verona, Monza, who's now owned by Berlusconi, who used to own AC Milan back in the day. They're interested in him as well. So I think he'd favour a return to Italy. He was a very successful loan over there last year for Udinese. He'd rather return there. So he's been heavily linked with those Italian clubs, but he does not want to go to Fenerbahce, and that deal has fallen through. So interestingly, left out of the whole squad for the game yesterday, as was Lucas Torreira. He was training, but he was not even in the squad for that game yesterday. And interesting, when you look at some of the players being left out or didn't figure at all, you can kind of get an idea of some of those players that are going to be going. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, another one who didn't figure at all, although he was on the bench. But Lucas Torreira not even on the bench. Arsenal still trying to move him away. Also, Bernd Leno not on the bench at all. It's hoped that he should be able to wrap up his deal where he's going to join Fulham this week. That's been ongoing for a couple of weeks for around about £8 million. That one should get done this week, and Leno will be a Fulham player. Big miss, I think, because, I would have loved to have kept him, but I understand why he's going to go. Nuno Torres, of course, went out on loan yesterday to Marseille, season-long loan. Mikel Arteta talking about it, saying, listen, we want him to go out and develop. Interesting, as I said yesterday, that they have not put any sort of option to buying it, so they are looking to bring him back at the end of that loan. And as I said, Mikel Arteta saying he wants him to go and develop. And following Balogun, interesting yesterday that he, as well, didn't figure. Hasn't really figured a lot in pre-season. Now, Stade de Reims, which is a team over there in Ligue 1, they confirmed, their president, Jean-Pierre Calliot, confirming that they're hopeful of completing a one-year loan move for following Balogun to replace Hugo Ekitike, who joined PSG. Ekitike scored a lot of goals for Reims last year and was their main guy. They're looking to bring in Balogun to replace him. Remember, Arsenal signed Balogun on re-signed him, should I say, to a brand new 4-year deal only last season, 2021. So they've got a long-term plan for Balogun, but he needs games. And if he goes out to Reims, it looks like he'll play week in, week out, because I said he'll be replacing their top goal scorer from last year. And this could be a good move for him as well. Looks to me like he will be heading out on loan. As I said, hardly figured. Are we leaving ourselves short in the striker department, if we do send him out on loan? Because that literally leaves Jesus and Eddie Nketiah. And what happens if anything happens to them? 2 strikers only, is that too little? Interesting. But we'll have to wait and see how that one pans out. Plenty of movement, I think there is going to be, of players moving out of Arsenal. And I think they want to get rid of a couple before they can move and get some of those other targets in. But listen, it's looking good at the moment. We're looking forward to the game on Friday night. That's when it all kicks off. We're going to be all over it. We've got previews, everything heading up to that game. Also, don't forget and check out all of the videos we did yesterday. It was crazy outside the stadium yesterday, speaking to fans. There were so many of you who had a lot to say. Go and check it out. Some great fan cams yesterday, and fans generally really optimistic for the season ahead. Thanks for watching. Good luck going out to the Lionesses, and I'll see you all tomorrow.